Hey there! Thank you for watching the video. Today I'm going to show you how you can crochet this flower, this tulip, and it has two leaves which you can also put it in any direction you want it to. So this is what I'm going to show you in this video. Okay, so what you need is some yarn. I've got the orange color for the tulip bulb and a green for the stem and the petals. This is a cotton yarn, and I've got a 2.5mm crochet hook. You need a darning needle and a stitch marker, and well, I'm using a small button, but you can also use a larger bead to secure the metal wire to your flower bulb. I've got some thicker metal wire for the stem and some thinner metal wire for the leaves. I've got a glue gun, and I've got some regular white glue and some stuffing. And well, this is for stuffing crocheted animals or something, but you can also use the inside of a pillow. So you can also buy a very cheap pillow and use the inside of that for your flowers. So this is what you're going to need for your tulip. So let's get started. So I'm starting with the color for my tulip and my 2.5mm hook. And first we're going to make a magic circle. So put your finger on that cross over here and get your hook, grab your working yarn and make one chain to secure your magic circle. Now into this magic circle we're going to make 6 single crochets. So here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now tighten your magic circle and into that first stitch, and if you are having a hard time finding that first stitch, just count back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's your first stitch. In that first stitch you're going to make a slip stitch and then chain 1. And grab your stitch marker and then put it in that slip stitch. So here is your chain 1 here, and this is your slip stitch over here. So put your stitch marker in there. And now for the next round I'm gonna make single crochets in every stitch. So in that first stitch over here make 2 single crochets. So we need to increase the base of our tulip. So 2 single crochets in that first stitch. In the next stitch make 2 single crochets. And do this until you are at the last stitch. So in every stitch you need to make 2 single crochets, so that in the end of this row you have 12 single crochets made. So here's your last stitch. So make 2 single crochets in the last stitch, and then you have your 12 single crochets made. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Now into the next stitch make your slip stitch. Put your stitch marker in that stitch. Because it is so tiny I have a difficult time to show you on camera where I put my stitch marker, because this is just thinner thread, but there it is. And now we chain 1, and so we're going to go to the next round. We're going to increase, so in the first stitch we're going to make 1 single crochet, and in the next stitch we're going to make 2 single crochets. In the next stitch make 1 single crochet, into the next stitch make 2 single crochets. Just continue this until the end. So in the next stitch make 1 single crochet, to the next stitch make 2 single crochets. Next make 1 single crochet, to the next make 2 single crochets. Into the next stitch make 1 single crochet, into the next stitch make 2 single crochets. And in the next stitch make 1 single crochet, into the next stitch make 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 stitches. Now into the next stitch make a slip stitch. Put your stitch marker into that stitch and then chain 1. Now we're going to increase again. I'm going to make in the next stitch is 1 single crochet, into the next stitch 2 single crochets, and into the next stitch 1 single crochet. So I'm going to make a group of 4 single crochets over 3 stitches. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet in the next stitch, and 1 single crochet in the next stitch. So let's repeat this. In the next stitch make 1 single crochet, into the next stitch make 2 single crochets, and into the next stitch make 1 single crochet. So in the next stitch make 1 single crochet, in the next stitch make 2 single crochets, and into the next stitch make 1 single crochet. To the next stitch make 1 single crochet, to the next stitch make 2 single crochets, into the next stitch make 1 single crochet. To the next stitch make 1 single crochet, to the next stitch make 2 single crochets, and into the next stitch make 1 single crochet. To the next stitch make 1 single crochet, into the next stitch make 2 single crochets, and into the next stitch make 1 single crochet. So we have 24 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So into the next stitch make a slip stitch, chain 1, put your stitch marker into that slip stitch. Oh, I'm sorry. So there it is. Now for the next row I'm gonna make 3 single crochets into the next 3 stitches. So 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and 1 single crochet in the next stitch. To the next stitch make 2 single crochets, so 1 and 2. So you're gonna make a group of 5 single crochets over 4 stitches. So let's do that again. And then in the end you have 30 single crochets. So in the next 3 stitches make 1 single crochet, into the next stitch make 2 single crochets. So in the next 3 stitches make 1 single crochet, and into the next stitch make 2 single crochets. So continue this until you are at the end. So first make 3 single crochets over the next 3 stitches, and then in the next make 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. Now let's make 3 single crochets over the next 3 stitches, and into the next make 2 single crochet. Okay, so make 1, 2, 3 stitches over the next 3 stitches, 3 single crochets over the next 3 stitches, and in the last stitch make 2 single crochets. And now make a slip stitch, chain 1, and put your stitch marker into that slip stitch. Now for the last increase, we're gonna make a group of 6 stitches. So on the next stitch make a single crochet, into the next stitch make a single crochet, and into the next make 2 single crochets, just 2 single crochets in 1 stitch, and then into the next 2 stitches make 1 single crochet. So over 5 stitches you make 6 single crochets, so 2 separate single crochets, and then in 1 stitch make 2 single crochets, and then 2 separate single crochets. And in the end you need to have 36 single crochets. So on the next 2 stitches make 1 single crochet, in the next stitch make 2 single crochets, and in the next 2 stitches make 1 single crochet. So on the next 2 stitches make 1 single crochet, in the next stitch make 2 single crochets, and in the next 2 stitches make 1 single crochet. In the next 2 stitches make 1 single crochet, in the next stitch make 2 single crochets, and in the next 2 stitches make 1 single crochet. Now next 2 stitches make 1 single crochet, in the next 2 stitches make in the next stitch make 2 single crochets, I'm sorry, and in the next 2 stitches make 1 single crochet. So now one last time, in the next 2 stitches make 1 single crochet, in the next stitch make 2 single crochets, and in the last 2 stitches make 1 single crochet. Now in that last stitch, or in the stitch you put your stitch marker, make a slip stitch and a chain 1. And now for the next rows, I made in total 20 rows, so this was row 6 I guess. So I made 20 rows in total, so that means that in every next stitch you make 1 single crochet. You need to have 36 in the end, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36. And now slip stitch into the next stitch and chain 1. So that was one row of 36 single crochets, and I made in total 20 rows. So this was row 7, so go ahead and make 20 rows. You can make more or less if you want, how big you want your tulip to be. And I'm going to do that off camera, and I'll come back to you when I made my rows, and I'm going to show you how to finish the tulip. Okay, so I made my rounds. You can see it's taller now. And what I'm going to do is to slip stitch into that first stitch, and I already cut my yarn, and slip stitch into that first stitch, and then pull that yarn through that stitch over here. So I made it secure. And now before we're going to stuff and close the tulip, what you're going to do is we're going to cut our metal wire approximately at 30-35 centimeters, and then we take our button and we're gonna put in one end into that button, and we're gonna make sure it goes into that next hole. You can also use a bead, but what we want is to make sure the stem is not gonna fall out of the tulip. So if you're gonna make your stem go like this and do nothing on this side here, then it pulls out of your tulip. So this is why I make it with a button, but you can also use a larger bead if you want to. But I'm gonna make sure the ends are closed here. And I don't want to loose, to be too loose. So I'm going to secure this metal wire over here. Okay, so and then I'm going to straighten out the wire a bit, and then I'm going to go into the bottom. So what I did, what I forgot to say, you can weave in the ends a little bit over here so your magic circle won't come undone, and then just leave this piece of yarn just like here, and then into that center hole we're going to put our the other end of the metal wire and put it into that center, and just make sure it's nice centered over here, so you can see the metal wire won't come out of your tulip. So now we're gonna get our stuffed, or our stuffing. I'm gonna pull it apart a little bit. I'm gonna put it into our tulip and make sure it's nice and stuffed. So I'm gonna grab some more. So almost to the top you need to stuff it. And now grab your darning needle and the end of your thread, and then we're going to close the top of our tulip. So what we're going to do, make sure your yarn is here on the top, and then we're going to fold it like this, and then get your yarn and get it from the one end to the other, and I'm making sure to grab both loops, so don't go in top of the loops. I just want both loops, so go from the one end and then go back to the other end. Just first make sure this is nice and closed. And now let's fold in the sides. I'm gonna turn it a little bit. So secure this nice and tight over here, and then let's go onto the other side. And then close these tops over here, and I like to go over and under the yarn we already had here. And let's go to this side. Like this. And now what you want to do is you go to that first petal over here and go under the both loops of both sides of your crochet work and just close one petal from one side like this. I hope you can see it, what I'm doing. And now what I like to do is to go back on one side and go deep down to the other side. So you can see my darning needle over here and go to the next petal. And that's how I'm going to close every petal. Like this. So just go ahead and make the other petals close too, and I'm going to show you how to make the leaf of your tulip and how to well, wrap the green yarn around this metal wire. So go ahead and close these other two petals and then come back to me and see how we're going to make the rest of this tulip. So now we're going to work on the petals. Leave a little tail around here so you can wrap it around the stem of your tulip. And then we're going to make a slip knot first. And then we're going to make it 25 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 25. So this is the length of your leaf. So now we're gonna skip that first chain, and the next one we're gonna make a single crochet, and to the next chain we're gonna make a single crochet. Now we're going to make a half double crochet into the next chain, and into the next chain make one half double crochet again. Now for the next 15 stitches we're going to make a double crochet in every stitch. So next stitch double crochet, next stitch double crochet. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now we're gonna make a half double crochet in the next stitch, make one more in the next, so one more half double crochet in the next stitch. The next 2 stitches make 1 single crochet. And now we have 1 stitch left. We're going to make 3 single crochets in the last stitch. So that first single crochet is from this side, the second single crochet is at the end of your leaf or the beginning, and make sure your tail is out of the way, and that third single crochet is to make your working yarn across your stem or your leaf. So you're going from here all around to the other side. And now we're going to do the same what we did here onto the other side. And what I like to do is to make sure I grab both loops over here, so in this part, so not just this one, but I like to grab both loops. So make 1 single crochet in the next stitch and 1 single crochet in the next one. And now let's make a half double crochet in the next, and again a half double crochet in the next stitch. Now again we need to make 15 double crochets in every next stitch. So don't grab this loop over here, but grab both loops. Well, if you want to grab this, it's okay, but I like it better when I put it in here. So where these stitches are from the other side, in that same space I'm gonna make my stitches. So I'm gonna make 15 double crochets into the next 15, well, 1 double crochet in the next 15 stitches. So what did I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Next 2 stitches make a half double crochet, and into the last 2 stitches make a single crochet. Now cut your yarn, and now let's make a slip stitch into the next stitch, and then weave in your ends at the back. And I'm going to show you how you can stiffen this leaf to put it onto your stem of your tulip. So I weaved in my ends, and what I like to do to make the leaves a little bit more sturdy, because they are a little bit flat like this, where you can choose to stiffen it with diluted wood glue or sugar water. But I would like to use some thinner metal wire, so you can apply it however you want to. So what we're gonna do is at the back we're gonna put the metal wire between all those stitches, and then make sure the metal wire doesn't come up to the front, so you will see the metal wire on the front of the leaves, but just put it through all the loops over here at the back, so the beginning is normally a little bit harder than the rest of the pattern. Sometimes you just have to wiggle it between the yarn. So put it between all the loops over here. And then it's better to not crochet that tight, so you get the metal wire between all the loops at the back. So do this until you are at the top. Sometimes it takes a while, but I really like how you can apply the leaves however you want it when the tulip is done. Somehow the other leaf was easier to put my wire into the back, but that's okay. I'm almost at the top. Okay, so I'm at the top now. What I would like to do is to take some pliers and just make the top a little bit into a loop shape. And then pull it a little bit down so the loop here grabs this yarn so it won't come undone when you are pulling your metal down. So you can make sure it's nice and flat. And then what you need to do is the tail over here. You can wrap it around the metal wire at the bottom. And I would like to grab some tape and just tape the edge to the wire like this. And then your leaf is done. Maybe you can put a little bit of glue over here if you really want to be it to if you really want it to be that secure and won't come loose. And then your first leaf is done. So make two, and I'm going to show you how you can attach it to the base of your tulip. So now I'm going to attach the leaves to the stem of the tulip. And what I did is with a glue gun, I glued the stem and the base of the tulip down. So this is nice and sturdy. And I already grabbed some yarn and made a little ball out of it, so it's better to wind your yarn around the wire. But first we're gonna grab the darning needle and put it around the one side of your yarn, and I'm gonna make it's attached to the base of the tulip, so very close to the where I glued it. I put my yarn and then make sure the tail is around the stem over here, and I'm gonna tape it down with some tape so it's better to handle the yarn when I'm gonna wrap it around the metal wire. So first we're gonna wrap it around the glue at the base a little bit, and then go over to the metal wire and that's when it comes in handy when you have a little ball into your hands, so you get really tight wraps around your metal wire. And then you need to decide where you want your petals to come with your stem. So grab your petal and lay it around your stem, or next to your stem, where you just end it with your wire, and then wrap it around both parts of the metal wire, and make sure there is no metal peeping through, so the stem is nice and green. And then I'm gonna grab my next leaf and put it next to it. I'm gonna wrap it until I'm at the bottom. So just wrapping it around. So it's not that nice and neat because I need to look right through my camera screen, and I'm not looking really on top of my fingers, so it's difficult to see what I'm doing sometimes, but I hope you get what you need to do. So just wrap around it. Make sure everything is nice and straight and just tight. So just wrap it until you are at the bottom. So I think you get the message what you need to do. And at the bottom you can use your glue gun, if you have one, to secure your yarn, or else you just have to use other glue. So cut your yarn over here, use some glue or the glue gun to glue this down. Maybe you can use a clothespin to keep it in place when it's drying, so this won't come undone when you are when you just finished your work. But I'm just gonna leave it like this because I don't have it on hand right now. But this is how you finish your tulip. You can see when you have metal into your petals, you can make it however you want it to be. I'm gonna bring up my camera, so I'm gonna be back soon. Wait a minute. So you can see it a little bit better. So this is your tulip with your leaves onto the side, and you can see you can apply it however you want it to. So it's really nice how it came along. So this is what I wanted to show you, and I hope you liked it. And I don't know if I want to make more flowers, but it's just really a lot of work to make a video out of a lot of parts and how to assemble it. But maybe I'm gonna do some more flowers, I don't know, but well, we'll see. But it's nice to make a lot of these tulips and put it in a vase, how you ever call it. And well, I think it's better than having real flowers already to be cut for the environment. So I think this is a nice way to have flowers always into your room. So make a lot of them in a lot of different colors, and you have a lot of colorful flowers into your house. So well, this is what I want to show you. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me them in the comment section below. And for now, I just wish you happy crocheting. Bye bye.